Welcome to Get Her, celebrating women who rise, thrive, and inspire with Amber and Jeanette.
Hello. We are so excited to be here today as we are doing the things. Amber and I are celebrating this new adventure that we've come up with together that we're excited to share with you to get her. So together to get her, which is celebrating women who rise, thrive, and inspire. And today we just want to explain to you a little bit about how this idea came about, as well as how we met each other, because that is a pretty fun story, and we're excited to share this with you. So, Amber, go ahead.
Yeah, so I absolutely love the story about how we met. Because I remember very specifically it was at Amber Hagberg's it was the live event, the Here for More live event. And I actually never saw the podcast that you guys did together, but I remember the first time you and I walked up, I was like, you have dreads, I have dreads, we're gonna be friends. And you were like, oh yeah, girl, I already stalked your Instagram. Like I knew before I came here we were gonna be friends. And it was so perfect. And so like we just bonded after that. And then we found out we were going to the retreat and it was so funny. Like I don't know if you noticed, but it was like every time we were together, Amber was just like, you too. And we knew that we were gonna be like, we knew there was something more after the retreat. We had no idea what. We were spending the retreat just being us, just loving life. And here we are. Now we're doing a podcast together. We got some other adventures in the works. And it's just so funny how life flows. I love it. I love us.
Me too. And you know what I was thinking of is I think it was after the first day, and a group of the girls got together and everyone was like chatting and having drinks and just like chilling. And we sat at the end of the table and we like dropped into this like deep vortex. It was like there was no one else there. And we were like, tell me all the things about your life. And what I remember you saying to me too, because you were speaking. So this is how that came about to me too, is that we also were, this was our first time taking the stage, that Amber had accepted our, send out the invitation, or, we had accepted that role and that support. And I just remember you being like, we're just doing the thing. And it was just like that next morning. I remember our whole conversation was just like epic. We had so many synchronicities in like how this friendship was just gonna like explode. And I just remember as soon as we walked in the next day, you were wearing this beautiful gold dress. And I was like, I got dressed up like I was like had gold on my thing too, because I was like, oh, I want to be like her.
You look like a
I like we're
goddess,
doing the things
girl.
together, right? And it was like just knowing that someone else was doing, at that same space, it was us doing the things together, right? I was like, and it was just like this amazing feeling to know when I walked in that room that morning, we celebrated each other before either one of us got on the stages. And it was just like, wow, how empowering is this, right? I was like, to meet a soul sister that just like you jump right in. We're
Mhm.
doing the things together.
Hmm. Right. And like we get each other to get her. Like we understood what we were going through. That was like, I mean, we both did online speaking, but to get in front of on a stage in front of 30 women from across the world and speak, like that was a big thing for both of us. And to just have that support and like feel each other's energies in the room. And then I got to introduce you, and that was like so powerful for me because I'm like, I love this bad bitch.
So good. So good. Your 15 minutes of fame. You felt like you were like, "Oh my goodness, like I only talked for like a short moment, but as everything that you said was so powerful, not just in my introduction, because that was lovely, but like, I mean, in your whole intro of, just like setting the stage for that day. And I know that we go back and forth because you're like, oh my goodness, I only spoke for a few minutes, but it was what flowed, right? And you like, I was dead set on having my PowerPoint and I was like, I'm gonna die without this thing, like I was like, I'm introducing my business, like I need to have this crutch. And you were like, I'm just doing the thing. And you got up there and just did the thing from your heart, like this heart-centered, beautiful introduction, right? And I was like, oh my God, if this girl's doing the thing, I can do the thing. So it was just like, it was so good. I still did use my PowerPoint, but in all knowing that, we can just feel that support as we're just like jumping into the thing. Like it's just like it's so incredible of to have that alignment, right?
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And like, even just having that support after, and the workshops that we did, and like knowing that we already made it through the hardest part, and now we're doing a workshop, and like your talk, yeah, you had your PowerPoint, but you were talking about your business. You had specific points you wanted to make, and it was so beautiful. It was so informative. And what you do is amazing. And those cards that you passed out, those are pure luxury, first of all. And then that workshop was absolutely incredible, so empowering. But yeah, just to have that connection and that support. And that's what I love about how we came up with To Get Her, to have that support, to get her, to bring women together, to celebrate them, to rise and thrive and to inspire and all of the things, because that's what we're doing. And it's like, if we're doing the things, other women can do the things, and we're bringing everyone to do the things.
Yeah, it's so good. And like even from your workshop too, right? It's like all of the women that were at Amber's like the retreat part of it were so special, right? There was like no fear in what we were doing, right? Like you just showed up and you did your thing, knowing that not only were you going to be seen, be heard, but also supported, right? And
Hmm.
your workshop was so powerful and you did the first one. You went first again. And you just did the thing, but it was so powerful to go through these limiting beliefs and that space you held for everyone. I constantly think of this at every retreat I go to now that I'm like, how can I put this workshop? I'm like, either need to bring you with me, or try to duplicate that because it was so powerful in looking at limiting beliefs and removing those literally
Hmm.
on post-its on us, which we'll get into at another point in time. But it was so powerful, and now how it just keeps evolving as we, find these new versions of us. We have our voices, and to share that, you are creating a stage for women to come together to do this in the fall. Like it is
Yes.
absolutely incredible. This is just the beginning of us having this conversation, but there are so many more layers in what
Hmm.
is to come,
Oh,
right?
for
Like
sure.
it's going to be so magical and being able to support women, right? Like that is the
Mhm.
whole point of us. To get her is together, right? And we all
Yes.
rise. It's celebrating women as we rise, we thrive, we inspire. And I'm so excited to see, as even our podcast progresses of the women that we get to support, right? Well, they get to
Hmm.
take that stage.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited about like who we bring on here and interview and talk to. And again, like the fact that we're doing it together, and just like it's just going to be so beautiful, so empowering, and to really invite women to take up space too, like our voices matter and we need to be heard. And so to bring other women on here with us, and I mean not only that, but we're pretty awesome, and I think that we're going to inspire people pretty good, just the two of us. But again, it's together to get her. And so the big thing is like really bringing other people on and being able to chat with them and see where they're at in life. And also, how can we support them? I'm excited for it.
Me too. I feel like, with our fancy background, I was like, The little things ends up being the big things in, bringing through like the confidence and how we inspire each other, right? And that feels so good. Like this honestly just feels like we'll have to show the video at some point and all of our listeners will have to watch for this video of us being us, like truly being us, at the retreat. It is one of my favorite videos of us laughing. And I'm excited to share that because it really shows that sisterhood of like,
Hmm.
even in my background of my business and supporting women in retreats, right? It's like that deep dive of these friendships where you get to be vulnerable, you get to share your gifts, you get to be supported by women and to try things like you've never done before and
Hmm.
feel that deep level of friendship and sisterhood
Hmm.
that you can do the things like you're doing them together, right? But
Hmm.
also like separately together as we celebrate each other as we do all the things, which feels so good and so aligned.
I know, I know. I feel the same way, and I've been so excited ever since we started talking about this. And it's so funny because throughout the retreat and everything, it was like, we're doing the things, we're doing the things. Like you would say that, and everyone started saying that. And we knew before we left the retreat, you and I were gonna do the things. We had no idea what. And then this podcast came to mind, and we're like, no, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're creating a background. We're creating a podcast cover. We're getting on and we're doing this, and we're going to inspire the shit out of some people.
That bad bitch mentality. I was like, we're bringing it. We're bringing it all.
Yes. I
You
love
know,
it.
it's really just having fun, right? Like that's literally what this is about. You give us a pretty background, and we're ready to rock. We're doing the things, and
Yes.
oh my goodness, it just feels so just empowering because you're not alone, right? So it's like even though we're taking this step and we're like, oh my goodness, like what is this going to look like? What is going to transpire from this? And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, right? It's just like we are coming together and we are having so much fun with what we're doing and the time we get to spend together. Why not share that with others, right? Like I was
Exactly.
like, I always have so much fun anytime, every connection that we've had, and we've known each other for a minute, which feels like a lifetime. Um, which is so incredible. And, even seeing since the retreat, just how every other woman that was there, whether they were at the conference style or the retreat, and you're just seeing them do the things, right?
Hmm.
So it's like being able to gather with those women too and celebrate them as they're taking stages, they're planning retreats, they're, showing up in all of these different lights based on that retreat because you're not alone, right? Because you get to work together to inspire each other and do the things together. Like it just makes things seem so much, I guess I want to say easier when you have one
Hmm.
support system of like one really good sister who's just like, we're doing the thing, then we do the
Exactly.
things, right? Like it just feels
Exactly.
so aligned, so good. And for me, I'm like, what else is next? This is only like the beginning of so much more. Like we've already planned out half of our year. Well, if not into 2026.
But we're stuck with each other for a lifetime. Not even stuck. We're blessed with each other for a lifetime.
I just got to get my hair fixed so we're actually like more aligned. I just took
Back
out
to the
my
dread
extensions,
twins.
but yeah, so that we can be matchy matchy.
Yes.
So good.
This is awesome, and I can't wait for our next call. And on our next call, we'll be interviewing Jeanette so that everyone can get to know her a little bit more. And then Jeanette will interview me on our next call. But in the meantime, if anyone wants to leave comments about what to get her means to you, to get her together, what does it mean to you? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you would like to see, what you want to hear from us, because we're here for it. And we'll talk soon.
Perfect.